It is time for Guns in the 701. Gentlemen, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Todd?
Fantastic. So, a boxing star arrested over a concealed handgun. Well, wait till they take away his fists. That'll be next.
So, if anybody's familiar with boxing, Deontay Wilder, the former heavyweight champ, record of 43-2-1. Just can't seem to get past Tyson Fury of England, but this guy's one of the best heavyweight champions of all time. Tuesday night, he was pulled over because he had a window tint was too dark. He was driving around Hollywood, and they pulled him over, and the police said they smelled some hippie lettuce in there, so they wanted to search his vehicle. And that's marijuana if anybody doesn't get it.
Yeah. We figured that part out in a hurry. But I guess that there might be one person who didn't know, and they could have asked around, hey, what is hippie lettuce anyway?
Wildwood
We're all
flowers.
about getting information out. So they searched it. They searched his car, and turns out they didn't find any marijuana. They turned up a 9mm handgun, which I guess he didn't have a permit for, which I think is a joke. But so they arrested him, and about 1:15 they arrest him. Next morning, posted his $35,000 bond, which is ridiculous. I think they let child molesters out of jail for far less than $35,000, which is insane. And right after he was released there at 6:30, the best part about it, Todd, his tweet, he said, "I'd rather be safe than sorry," which is awesome because I agree with Deontay Wilder 100%. And you know what's funny about it, Todd? This guy's one of the biggest bad A's in the world. And he's carrying a gun, and the liberals think if you carry a gun around, you're scared and frightened, and a little man, and your genitalia small. So I wonder if they want to tell that to Deontay Wilder.
Well, I'm with. I mean, isn't that why we have a Second Amendment to begin with? Protect ourselves.
Absolutely.
So why can he not?
If a heavyweight champion's carrying a gun around for self-defense, a little white guy like me certainly has the right to do so.
And you notice every time we say it, we put ourselves way at the bottom of the food chain, too. So nobody can get all uppity about, hey, sure. You bring up guns and you bring up being white. It's like, yeah, but not supremacist, rather. Not supreme. No. We're little white guys.
Yeah.
Bottom of the food chain. Guns of the 701 on K-Fire 845. Speaking of the Second Amendment, there's still a state other than North Dakota that will protect, in fact, more so than North Dakota, that protects your Second Amendment right.
Yeah, Montana. That's was my lead. I was going to come in and say, look at Montana can get done with our Rhino North Dakota legislature couldn't and failed us this year horribly. In fact, we had a poll about that. But anyway, we'll go on to this. They passed 4 brand new laws, and they got them to the governor, and the Montana governor on April 26th, he went ahead and signed all 4 of them. One was known as the FIND Act, and I really like this one because it prevents all the state agencies out there in Montana from doing business with a financial institution that wants to basically write off the Second Amendment in firearms industries. And we saw a lot of that. U.S. Bank was one of them that comes to the top of my mind. Wells Fargo was another where they were just flat out denying anybody that had a business in firearms, whether it be a manufacturer or a gun shop or an FFL dealer, whatever it might be, just flat out close their accounts or wouldn't even give them operating money. So this law will prevent that in the state of Montana, which hopefully will be a little incentive to these banks to back off on that. We'll see. They might just pull up and leave Montana, and that's fine. Something else will come into the fray and take their place. And that was Senate Bill 359. Senate Bill 400 increases the term of the concealed carry permit. And, I'm for constitutional carry. I don't think they need a permit, but other states do require it still. And that's what Montana did. They basically expanded it. NRA actually backed this one too, from what I understand. And it's going to now, it'll at least open the door for reciprocity in Delaware, Minnesota, New Mexico, South Carolina, and Washington. So that'll be just an expansion for Montanans to be able to do business and carry in those states. So that would be kind of nice. Now, remember, these states don't have to do a reciprocity agreement with Montana or any other state if they don't want to. It just opens up the door for them. So another good bill. You have Senate Bill 674. It basically is going to enhance that Montana carry permit and make it. It also piggybacks on the 5 states, but it's also going to help expand that so that basically people are going to be able to carry more, and they're going to be able to use their NICS background check. The ATF is coming out and said that anything past 5 years is not going to be relevant as a background check in replacement of the NICS. So they did a great job out there in Montana. I like what they did, and unfortunately, North Dakota failed us. Montana got it right.
Back to that reciprocity thing, you don't think Minnesota can screw that up? I don't trust Minnesota as far as I can throw them. So.
Oh, I don't either. I have no doubt they'll reject it.
Out of that list of states that Clay said, I would say South Carolina is your best chance of allowing reciprocity. These other ones, I would say there's no way they're going to do it.
I would have to agree, especially when you see what's happening in Washington State right now. I mean, they're going full out more gun control. I mean, they got an assault weapons ban that's very commie tyrants. And they already got an assault weapons ban bill out there. You got Oregon doing the same thing. All your deep blue states are doing this. I imagine they're going to work their way through the court system, and everything's going to probably be based on the Bruin case if it hits the Supreme Court. But that's a whole nother subject.
Well, Oregon, there's this. Go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of people thought Bruin was was going to just be great for Second Amendment rights, but it actually, and Clay and I predicted this, it was just going to make these leftist states and the Democrat Party dig their heels in even harder, and that's pretty much what's happened.
Yeah, it did. And I'm okay with that, though, because now it may force some of these other cases. Either they're going to have to double down and even work harder, which that doesn't seem to bother leftists, and we can get some precedent-setting things happening. Hopefully, we'll see. Nothing's guaranteed, even in the Supreme Court in the environment they're in. Or I've noticed some cases were actually pulled in some of the what I would call purplish states that lean either way. But yeah, Bruin was a huge case, but it was not the end-all, be-all. It really wasn't. We still got issues to protect.
Guns the 701-849 here at K-Fire. 20 mile an hour. In this day and age of artificial intelligence becoming just so prevalent, 20 mile per hour robot bear that simulates a grizzly attack will tour Wyoming this summer. Since it's a robot, can you go up and pet it?
Yeah, tell the Californians they can finally pet an animal, so not get worried about getting charged.
Love it.
SCI, Safari Club International, they bought a grizzly mounted on this remote control platform, and they're letting Wyoming's Game and Fish use this thing throughout the summer to kind of, and people can do it and kind of get the feel of obviously not exactly a simulated grizzly attack, but kind of get them accustomed to getting they say pepper spray in the article. They say there's a debate about pepper spray or guns. I'm definitely a guy who would carry a gun because if something's trying to kill me, I don't have a problem killing it first. But yeah, and they can control the speed on it. They say for kids, I don't know why you'd slow it down for a kid because a grizzly's not going to slow down any quicker for a teenage kid if it's an adult, But apparently this thing, they used to use it for teaching law enforcement how to charge with dealing humans, but I don't know. I think it's an all right idea to get you, under stress, pull your pepper spray out or your gun, whatever you want to do. I don't think it's that bad of an idea. I wouldn't mind trying it just to seems like it'd be fun to do, and it's not a real grizzly to see how fast you could get your defenses out.
Better to shoot some pepper spray at a tourist than rabies, I guess.
Well, Clay and I did a story, Todd, pepper spray. Bit this guy's dog in its mouth and ended up killing it. The guy pepper sprayed the bear and was punching it. It didn't even bother the bear. So I don't get why people think this pepper spray is this bear spray is the end all for bears. I mean, get yourself a hand cannon or carry yourself a shotgun with some slugs, and then you're probably going to be a lot better off than we are with bear spray.
It seems sort of obvious to me, but of course the question tourists are going to ask is when the robot buffalo are going to be out there so we can pet those.
I like that.
Hey, did you notice in that
That's
article,
a good idea,
Jamie?
Todd. We should do that.
Hey, did you notice in that article that when they were doing the quick draw and some of the things they were going through, muscle memory, where have we heard that before? It's kind of the same thing with shooting. There's a certain amount of muscle memory when you're learning how to shoot, especially handguns. That's that repetitious practice, and it creates a muscle memory. And I thought it was interesting that they actually played on that in this article, talking about that's why they're doing this. They want to create that muscle memory. As far as pepper spray versus firearms, I'm going to take a firearm every day, all day. I've hunted a lot out in Wyoming. I carried a 44 mag or 454 Cosol if I had one of them. But I can tell you right now, I will take that any day over an attack than pepper spray, because the stuff that they allow the civilians to have, a lot of guys, they probably can spray that in their mouth and move on along their way. So I can't imagine it'd affect a bear. It's pretty weak.
Earth to you people who think you're going to make the fake buffalo robot. That makes sure, we got to do something to make sure that people can tell the difference, like have LED red eyes that really glow bright or something. Because otherwise somebody's going to go, is that a robot? I don't know. Can I pet it? And then I'll go up to a real one and not realize it isn't a fake one.
I want the smoke to come boiling out of the nose before it charges.
There you go.
There you go.
Get like a skunk spray thing going on there if you make it too mad. You know, I mean, you give it a chance, right? But once you really annoy the thing, then you get a real hissy skunk spray coming out of the thing. And then
I like that. That's a good idea.
We'll just have to tell them only pet
Marty
the white
Beard's got a
buffalo.
fake skunk.
well, there we
Marty
go.
Beard's got me with his fake skunk before more than once, and I've seen him give people with it. It's pretty good.
Guns in the 701 Wednesday nights. Where do we want to be to see the fresh stuff?
Well, you can hop on our YouTube channel. We come on live 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, 7 o'clock Central. It also is on Twitter. It's on Facebook. And, of course, don't forget Monday mornings in the crosshairs, KFYR TV Plus. Just log in there, hit the live button, and you'll be there at 11:40 Mountain, 12:40 Central.
Don't forget those podcasts available on iHeart, so make sure you,
Absolutely. The best podcasting service around.
Got it, yes. I'm supposed to make sure to advertise my favorite podcast on iHeart. There it is, Guns in the 701. There, I've done it, so. All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Actually,
Yes.
you too, Todd. iHeart's our number one download for our podcast, too, just to be sure.
There we go. There we are. There you have it. Straight from the horses, straight from the fake buffalo's mouth right there.
You got it.
All right, have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
You too, Todd. See you, bud.